has been sparking the imagination since humans could start to project qualities upon it. We read poems about it, hear love songs about it, and find a lot of mythology surrounding it. No matter how jaded or sophisticated people are, they still say, oh, hey, look at the moon. We associate the different phases with different qualities, too. We infuse the crescent moon with fertility because it's a thin little thing, kind of virginal and delicate. But we know she'll keep waxing until she's full. She mirrors the belly of a woman who gets fuller and fuller until a baby is ready to be born. The full moon also seems to have some real legitimate effects on people. Ask any teacher or ER worker or cop, and they'll tell you the full moon causes people to act crazier and more irrationally. The word lunacy comes from Luna, the moon. It is associated with the collapse of the psyche. We've got the story of the werewolf, too, man transmuted into beast. So the full moon is linked to romance, but also to madness and sorcery. And when the moon disappeared, it was said that the goddess of darkness roamed the land. She was out there somewhere, weaving each person's future. The moon has a special place in human awareness and a special place in the birth chart as well. Like the sun, the moon is called a planet, even though it's technically a luminary. This is the symbol we use for the moon. But in astrology, what does the moon mean? The moon covers more psychological terrain than any other planet because of how cyclic it is and how much can be said about each individual phase. The moon pulls upon the oceans to create the tides, so it is considered a watery force. It's associated with our emotional nature. It's also associated with our needs. We all have bodily needs that must be met or we die. Those remain more or less the same throughout a lifetime. But in the chart, the moon speaks to higher level needs, not just the needs of the body, but also the mind and soul. The moon is associated with mother and mothering. So the sign your moon is in shows the way you naturally nurture and what makes you feel nurtured. Most of us learn language in order to get our needs across, but someone with a moon in Gemini will experience that need throughout life in a lot of different ways. This moon feels nurtured by being listened to and will often find catharsis in writing. They'll need variety in every aspect of life. As mothers, they're likely to bathe their children in literature as a way of showing love. They're likely to focus on the child's intelligence as a way of affirming that child. On the other hand, a moon in Scorpio doesn't care much about fluency. What this moon wants above all else is trust in their nurturer. They feel nurtured when their depth and heaviness are taken seriously. A Scorpio moon nurtures by showing loyalty no matter what. The moon shows our sensitivities and what needs we think of as being essential for our survival. It speaks to what makes us feel safe and secure. And these things can vary widely. Take a Sag moon. It has very low needs for stability and structure. It feels safest when there's an escape route out of every situation. It feels secure when there's unstructured time where an adventure might arise, and it needs to take risks to feel alive. A Cancer moon, on the other hand, feels safe when nothing changes. It might have a dozen different insurance policies for everything from death to new eyeglasses if a lens pops out of the old pair. It saves money for that rainy day and for that emergency it fears is coming. As I stated earlier, a person's emotional nature is connected to the moon and what sign that moon is in. A moon in the sign of Taurus represents a person with low needs for expression, to the point where you wonder if they'd look excited upon hearing they just won the lottery. In contrast, the emotional nature of a moon in Aries is hot and passionate and brazen and bold. A Libra moon's emotions are very much tied up in feeling they're in a harmonious environment. Everyone being nice to everyone else is essential if they're going to be emotionally honest. Every moon wants an ideal situation, and when they don't receive it, problems begin to arise. The Earth and Moon are tidally locked, meaning they always show the same face to each other. Until they sent a camera over there just recently, no one had ever seen the dark side. The moon in any zodiac sign has a dark side as well. The moon represents a person's unconscious. By that I mean a part of the mind that motivates us to act, but of which we are unaware. The placement of the moon tells us what is likely to be swimming around in the unconscious and indicates the most effective route to shedding some light on the matter. Unilluminated parts of the psyche lead us into self-defeating behaviors. How about a Leo moon who wants some recognition? They say they could grab the spotlight and be a star if only they lived in a big city where they could find opportunities to really do something. So they set themselves up in a small town and marry someone who doesn't even support their interest in singing karaoke at the local ice house. Or maybe it's the moon in Capricorn who says they're going to be a millionaire by the time they're 30, but their game plan is strangely vague or totally absent. These self-defeating behaviors can cause a lot of unhappiness and even feelings of shame. You see, if lunar needs are abandoned or smothered or repressed, serious consequences can arise in the way of compulsions. A compulsion is a behavior that has life-damaging consequences, and yet the native cannot refrain from engaging in it. It's the person who won't stop hoarding even though the house is about to be condemned, or the person who won't stop gambling even though they're about to lose their family, or maybe it's the compulsive eater who gets so big they can't drive anymore and can't fit in the shower and becomes confined to bed. I had a landlady like that. It was a big house and she rented me one of the bedrooms. I didn't know that she couldn't move until I realized that she was always in the same spot. By the end of that year, she'd gone up to 600, though in her defense, she didn't look a pound over 575. The point is, the moon and the placement in the birth chart must be explored, understood, and expressed if you're going to feel empowered and in control of your life. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, Learning Astrology, the Meaning of the Moon. I'm Joy. More videos about the moon through the zodiac signs to come.